All right, guys, so we're back out here. This is part 2 of the Corbeau seat install, and this will be a little bit shorter because really all we're trying to do is get the seat mounted in the car without modifying the floor and without modifying, like, you know, any kind of mounting location that would basically make it null and void. Like, I don't want to be drilling holes through the floor if I don't have to. So a couple other things I want to mention with this. So the Corbeau FX1 Wide, you can actually it has these 1-inch pegs on the bottom of the seat, and they appear to be just fiberglass. Like, there's no reason for them. I don't know if there's a design parameter for them, but the actual nut that the bolt attaches to it's all the way at the top. So I have seen things on forums where people will cut these pegs off, which will buy you another inch of height. Now, when doing so, you have to remember, like, your seat has to be able to fit that low. I would argue that with the FX1 Wide, and I haven't tried this, but I don't know if the seat could actually go lower. It is the full width of the tub, so they have some angled sides on the tub coming in, and I don't buy that if you cut that off it would be coming lower, and then you would have an issue where you're just kind of, you know, suspended, just a bolt running through and there's no physical contact. So, but it is a no. I did want to make a note of that. I believe that's on all of their FX1 models, so maybe if you have a height issue, a taller torso, and you're in a smaller seat, that'll be something that you can do. Before we get into it too far, I did want to mention my total height as well as my torso height, because that is going to have an impact on this, and we might be able to switch this bracket around to suit different torso heights, mainly suit different leg heights as well. So you have to keep in mind that, you know, just because someone says they're 5'10", you see this all the time in forums, all the time on the Facebook groups. Just because someone says their height, it really has no relevance over them fitting in the car. It's their torso height and then their leg length. The division of your height is really important. So in my case, I'm 5'10", and I'm going to take some measurements here just to get to the top of my head when I'm in a seated position. All right, so just got it. So from the bottom of my ass to the top of my head, I'm talking 38 inches. So 38 inches plus a helmet is what we're shooting for here. But just something to keep in mind when you go to do your measurements, make sure you get those measurements. Now, I'm sitting in the fixed mount location. I'm intending to sit further forward so that I don't have to lean back, right? I want to sit further forward so I have better access to the clutch. You don't want your knee to be fully extended. You want a little bit of bend in your knee when the clutch is fully depressed. Then the other thing is, you know, being able to get my arm in and shift was a thing. I was leaning back so hard in the stock seat that I couldn't. It was hard to get to 5th gear. So those are kind of two goals. But once again, 38 inches from the seating surface to the top of my head. We had to test a couple things. So good buddy TJ, he has a plasma table. He went ahead and cut this out for us. This is the first design that I went for. The intention here was to be able to maintain the sliders. So I was trying to make the stock mounting locations, which you'll see here, a pretty symmetrical layout, work. Now, in doing so, a couple things I found with this. So A, running a bracket with sliders, it's pretty much impossible. You're just not going to be able to maintain enough headroom with a different seat on sliders. Like, the stock seat is probably the best way you could do that with sliders. And honestly, if you have a taller torso or you're a bigger guy, like, it's just not going to happen. You have to accept that. No sliders. So you're going to be fixed mount. Now, fixed mount brings us to the next issue that we're going to run into. So here we go. Here's our first gen. Here's our second gen mount. Now this one, you see we had to extend our front legs a little bit. Added some slotted forward connections here. This is going to meet the Corbeau stock location. And then I went ahead and added some sliding rear slots here. Now, part of this you can already see. We made this out of 10 gauge, so don't be too worried about the bending, but you can use a little bit more material here because we've got so much that's separated with this slot. And same thing here as well. You have another kind of really weak point right there. The other thing is, while doing this, I found out that the left side holes are in line with each other. The right side holes are not. This one that's back near the seatbelt is so far back in, it actually requires a little extension to get out here to it. So after discovering that stuff, we went ahead and went with our next design. Now that design is going to include kind of a little bit of material separation. We're going to open up the center for the belt location, as well as making sure that we have enough leg length and that the slots are offset proportionally to where the seat ends up. Because you have to remember, since this seat's so wide, it's FX1 Wide, it takes up the entirety of the cockpit. So the seat is stuck. It can only go so far in its position, which means the slots have to kind of shift and be where that seat is going to sit. Now, you don't know that until you go to put stuff in. And with that second one, we found out that it was like an 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch off. So I shifted those slots over. We're gonna head down to TJ's, get that cut out, come back up here, take a look at it, and see if we can get that to work in the car. All right, we've got our first version of this thing, production version, quote unquote. Got everything bent. TJ got it cut out for us. A lot of interesting things we're trying here. So we have these manual sliders here on the back to try to make the fit up work. On the front, we got a little bit of room for adjustment. These slots, plan to shrink these up once we determine kind of the final fit up. We have this one in the back here, kind of a little attempt to give that some room, but kind of gives a narrow support there. So definitely trying stuff out, uncharted territory for us at this point. Hope we can make this all work. All right, so now we'll go ahead and get this bolt out here for our seat belt. So get our lap belt in. Things kind of lining up where we want it to be. All right, guys, that was a ton of wrenching, kind of mundane stuff, but I'm going to walk you through basically with this bracket what the goal is for it and what we're getting done with it. So what this does is it allows you to bolt the rear seat holes to the bracket and then slide the seat forward, bolt the bracket to the rear 2 holes to the floor here, slide the seat back. And once you can do that, you can come up front, you can bolt your bracket to your 2 floor locations. And then under here, I'll kind of show you a little glimpse, but you're able to fit a wrench under there and tighten up your bolts that come through from the bottom. Then, hopefully, you have somebody with little arms who can go back here, and there's literally a wrench width between the floor and the bracket where you can also wrench these to keep it tight. But you can see right now, nice and tight. We got our harnesses run through. We get that all cleaned up, and we'll have a finished up little shot of this here. All right, so we've gone ahead and looped our belts through in the back here. A couple zip ties for these. Pretty simple process. If you don't know how to loop a belt, plenty of resources online using the 3-bar here. You will have to take the eyelet, just slide the eyelet off of this belt. Not a big deal. We got both of those in. Over here, a little bit of a less than ideal solution. I might end up just moving this outside of the loop here, but we'll just see. But for now, I gotta go test fitment, make sure everything's good to go. All right, so here we go. I got both the buckles in, everything's hooked up down here. Obviously not tight right now, but got a big dude in a small car making it work. So last thing to do on this is get the old helmet on, see what it looks like height wise. All right, so there you go. You see up there in the clearance for that. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's a sunroof car. If this wasn't a sunroof car, it would be in an even better spot. but the fact that it is a sunroof car and I still got clearance up there, I can still look around and do what I need to do, I'll take that. So I'm happy about that. Gonna get this thing off. Oh. Whew. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So excited to kind of get this thing wrapped up. We're just about to enter car season. Get the seat good to go. I'm ready to do some autocross stuff and be able to tighten down and stay in the seat. So pretty excited. And so here's the thing, if you want one of these brackets, you're a big guy trying to fit an RX7, hit us up at voegarage@gmail.com. We'll go ahead and get you set up with one of these brackets. And yeah, it'll help you get in your car. A lot of good options out there if you are not bigger waisted, but hey, you're bigger waisted and you need a bracket, we've got one for you now. So excited to get out there car season wise. We got some more stuff planned for this thing. I've got like tons of boxes for it. We're talking on the Racing Beat header. I've got some lowering springs. I've got all new suspension goodies. So look forward to that. But otherwise, catch you guys in the next one.